What is good, my friends, and welcome to the Q&A for May 2024. This is coming out on time this month. Thank God. We're going to be kicking off with the first question from Silbite Roblox. That's kind of funny. I played that game. And they say, hey Eclipse, what's your opinion on the Persona series? I hear a lot of music in your videos and I'm curious. I am asking this quite often, and if you already answered this, I'm sorry for asking repeatedly. I think I have answered this before, but in case people maybe missed the answer the first time, I'll be answering it again. My experience with the Persona series is pretty limited, mostly stemming from the extreme time commitments that the games require. The Persona games are long, and I've told this story on the channel before, but I want to say I got about halfway through Persona 4 on an emulator, and then when I heard that they were releasing Persona 4 Golden on Steam, I was like, well, I want to support this game, so when it comes out, I'll buy it, and then I'll play through the game again and play through the rest of it when it releases. And then I just never got around to it. Nowadays, Persona 4 Golden, Persona 5 Royal, and I believe the Persona 3 Remake are all on PC and playable, so one of these days I'll get around to playing them. I use a lot of Persona music in my videos because, well, it's really good. Not much else to say there. The next question is from William Ninguno. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. And they say, if they ever add to Deepwoken something like Layer 3, will you check it out with your friends? Really funny seeing you on Layer 2 with the Bone Keeper. I'm sort of mixing this Deepwoken question in with all of the Deepwoken questions that I answer almost every single month in these Q&As, but I still plan to come back to Deepwoken. I still plan to complete Layer 2 in its entirety at some point. It's just kind of hard to get myself to boot it up and, well, start playing. As for bringing friends along, I don't really have too many friends that are active Deepwoken players, and the few friends that I do have are total hypersweats that would just carry me through the entirety of Layer 2, and I just don't think that would be very interesting for a video, which is why I haven't done that. I know a lot of people have been asking if I'm going to come back when Deepwoken adds Conquest. I will be perfectly honest that I still have no idea what that even is, and I see people throwing it around all the time, but you have to understand that for those of us who are not super invested into Deepwoken and just play on and off, we don't know what that is. So constantly hyping up Conquest doesn't mean anything to me because I don't know what that is. So will I be coming back for it? I don't know. Maybe when I figure out what the hell it is that everyone's so excited about, but until then, we'll see. The next question is from The Glass Man, and they say, what kind of content should we expect to see from you for this coming month? I feel like seeing you play with your friends is almost fun, and I'd love to see you do more Gary's Mod, especially modded sandbox. Well, I can tell you that Gary's Mod is absolutely not happening because unfortunately, I have to look out for, well, my financials, and playing Gary's Mod is a very, very good way to throw my channel into the gutter. As for what content you should expect to see in the coming months, I don't even know if I could tell you that, because as of current, I'm probably at the most uncertain when it comes to what stuff I'm making that I've ever been. I mean, for God's sakes, what was it, like a week or two ago, I was making drama videos. I don't do drama videos. And granted, I didn't really care about the drama. I just made it because I figured it would get views and, well, yeah, it worked. But regardless, I have no idea what I'm doing as of late. I've just kind of been playing stuff people tell me to play, and that's kind of it. None of the videos are really good. None of the videos I'm proud of, but I don't know. It's just hard to get invested in things that you don't really care about, so I guess it is what it is. As for other games that I would be playing with my friends, well, I don't really play a whole lot of multiplayer games with my friends recently as it is, and when I do play, it's not stuff that you would want to watch on this channel, or not stuff that the majority will want to watch on this channel, so there's just no point. Some Big Boy Letters 702 asks a bit of a personal question. Are you all right? Not a therapist or anything, but hope you're all good with how stressful I can only imagine YouTube can be. Ironically, YouTube has been the least of my problems recently. I have made some very large mistakes in my personal life when it comes to some friendships that I had or might not have anymore. I don't want to get too far into that, but in general, I think I'm mediocre. I was in a really, really, really bad spot about a month ago, and I'm doing a little bit better now, and hopefully it's all uphill from here, but I don't know. DCHO9164 says, are you going to do any reviews on horror games on Roblox? I'm interested in your takes on the genre, specifically on Roblox. Well, I don't like horror games. I've made that clear plenty of times, and I don't like horror games even more on Roblox. And it's kind of funny because there's a bit of a contrast between horror games and horror games on Roblox, mostly because normal horror games I don't like because they scare me and I don't like to be scared because I'm a little bitch baby. Pretty simple stuff. Now on Roblox, I don't like horror games because they're dog shit. Because they suck. Roblox horror games are a dime a dozen. There's like 8 bajillion of them, and 99.9% of them are complete garbage. They're not scary, they're not entertaining, they're not fun, and I don't understand them whatsoever. Oh no, there's a PNG coming after me, and if it catches me, it makes a loud noise, like, oh, I'm terrified, right? Or there's a 3D model with barely functioning animations coming. It's like, you know, you've seen it 100 times. It wasn't entertaining or fun then, it's not entertaining or fun now, so I just don't interact with these games, because, well, why would I? Pylegao, sorry, I probably pronounced that wrong, says, hey Eclipse, what are your opinions on the Roblox Classic event? Oh man, that's a good one. This guy thinks that I play the Roblox events. No, I didn't and don't plan on playing the Roblox Classic event because I don't give a damn about Roblox events. Why would I? Have you been paying any attention to this YouTube channel? I have been running the same avatar with stuff that I got from like 2016, and I never change it, ever. So I don't care about any sort of cosmetic items that you would be getting from these events. And also I don't play Roblox unless it's for my YouTube channel. But maybe I should have covered the Classic event, because if I did, it would probably bring in views, and that's why I play Roblox. But yeah, no. Do I have opinions on the Roblox Classic event? No, because I didn't play it. And you guys are brutal today with the personal questions. Excelsior, Jesus Christ, says, does Eclipse like his current self? No, not particularly. And I'm working hard to try to improve that self. Although you probably won't be able to tell on the YouTube because, well, YouTube me is not me, in case that wasn't abundantly clear. Manfojo2396 says, what do you think makes a good JoJo game? I've been watching your old videos and they give a lot of good information, but it would be cool if you could tell us in combat abilities, even ragdoll, any new input would be amazing. I know my grammar sucks, and if I'm in DDS, I'll 100% get flammed for it. Well, if you do watch all of my videos, maybe you ought to watch the ones where I talk about punctuation and figure out what a period is. That'll really help you out. But to answer your question on what do I think makes a good JoJo game, I don't think there's a one-size-fits-all solution to what makes a good JoJo game. But I can tell you a lot of the pitfalls that I think a lot of JoJo games fall into that you should avoid. Hands down, the biggest one is a lack of a game, like, in general. I see a lot of JoJo games that basically just put together a main game map and they put you on it with a whole bunch of arrows, and they're like, well, you go get stands and then you kill each other or you stand around, and that's the whole game. And that's barely a game. You need to have some sort of a game, some sort of a hook, some sort of a reason to continue playing the game. Otherwise, people are just going to be like, well, this is just a worse version of something I've already played, so I'm going to quit. The thing about the Roblox JoJo genre right now is the reason it's so stale is people, instead of trying to make something more different or unique, or not even necessarily unique as a whole, but at least unique in the JoJo genre in general, well, people just don't do that. The closest we've come so far is definitely World of Stands, something that I didn't give enough credit to way back when it came out, although that's not entirely my fault considering the severe lack of content. But regardless, in the state that it's in now, at the very least, World of Stands is a mostly unique game compared to what's in the genre right now, and I think that's what JoJo games need to start doing, but haven't been, because you're either an attempted YBA clone with nothing different, or you're an attempted ABD clone with nothing different. When there's mountains of things that you could be doing, but you're not because you're just sort of copying those games. The next question is from Xtroid101, and they say, hey Eclipse, are there any games outside of Roblox that you enjoy playing somewhat frequently? And of course there are, because that's what I do when I'm not recording on here. As of recently, I've been playing a lot of Arena Breakout Infinite, which is basically the Chinese Tarkov clone, and I've been playing that with some of my friends, and that's just generally been a pretty good time. I'm still playing Battlefield 2042, so that's not really a huge surprise to anyone, I don't think. And on the topic of Battlefield, I've also played Battlefield 4 a few times with my buddy Luke. So other than those 3 games, not a huge variety of things I've been playing, but that's just what I've been doing. And the last question of the day comes from Sick Zach, who says, hey Eclipse, I'm just curious to know if, when the next Subnautica game releases, will you play it? It's probably going to be a while, as early access is expected to come out next year. But I really enjoy your series on both Subnautica games, and I'd love to watch another. Keep up the great videos. Yeah, for sure. Whenever the next Subnautica game comes out, I'll definitely play it, although I will say that I don't know how likely it is that I'll play it in early access, because I'm not one to log on to single-player games that aren't finished yet and then play them and then have to wait for like months or years for the next update to come out for another chapter. So whenever the next Subnautica game comes out, it's highly likely that I'll wait until it's like done or very close to done before I play it, so that way I can just sit down and play the whole thing. The one thing I will say is that I'll be honest, I lost a little bit of faith in the developers of Subnautica with Below Zero. Not a whole lot, because I think Below Zero was a genuinely good game, but it wasn't as good as the first game, and I think a lot of the things that made the first game good, they just sort of threw out in the second game, which is a bit of a shame. It's ironic because I feel like in their attempts to sort of ramp up the hostilities of the planets by adding a whole bunch more things that it will kill you and take away options that you had to cheese or fight against the big predators like the stasis rifle, it just really didn't work out in my opinion. A lot of the on-land sections, well, it's obviously very clear that Subnautica is meant to be a water-based game, so those sections didn't really work aside from the ice worm area. That was really good, but the bear sort of enemies, I just don't think work very well. In general, Subnautica Below Zero, not as good as the first game, but not bad. And so it does make me sort of skeptical about what they're going to do with the third game. And I'm really hoping that they manage to recapture the magic. Although some of that is just going to be lost from the fact that after you've played the first game, you're gonna understand some things about the game that make it less intimidating. Like understanding AIs and aggro radiuses and how much damage things are realistically going to do to you, and just having those things sort of ruins the game in of itself. Anyways, that's the end of the Q&A. Those are all the questions that I had, so if your question wasn't answered, obviously I do these monthly, so you can try to wait around until next month. Regardless, that's going to be all for today, so if you enjoyed the video, you can leave a like and subscribe. If you didn't, don't. And with all that being said, have a wonderful day or night wherever you are, and I'll see you guys next time.